dark clouds roll over Chicago's skyline. The streets are quiet, but danger hums under every flickering streetlight. Somewhere out there, Tommy Egan is moving, not to talk, not to reason, but to remind everyone who runs this city. He's the kind of man who doesn't wait for trouble. He brings it. And when he shows up, there's no warning, no second chance, only the sound of a car engine and a promise of payback. The night hits different in Chicago. It's not just cold, it bites. Every shadow hides a story. Every sound could be a threat. The city never really sleeps. It just changes faces. Neon lights spill over the cracked pavement, and somewhere in that glow, a black muscle car slices through the streets like a knife through silence. Behind the wheel is Tommy Egan, a man built from chaos, sharpened by betrayal, and fueled by revenge. He doesn't talk much. He doesn't need to. His presence says everything, the stare, the stillness, the way he walks like he owns the ground beneath him. The rules don't apply to Tommy. He writes his own. In this city of smoke and sirens, power isn't given, it's taken. And Tommy, he's never been one to ask nicely. The camera would follow his car as it glides past empty lots and boarded-up stores. The hum of the engine feels alive, almost breathing. Every corner he turns, it's like the streets themselves bend in respect or fear. Somewhere deep in his eyes, you can tell he's thinking not about what he's lost, but about what's next. Because for Tommy, there's always a next move, a next hustle, a next hit. The past doesn't haunt him. It drives him not inside that car. His face is calm, but his hands grip the wheel with quiet tension. He's seen too much to flinch now. Every betrayal, every lie, every body left behind, they've built him into something unbreakable. He isn't chasing peace. He's chasing purpose. And that purpose is power. Real power. The kind that doesn't fade when the lights go out. He drives through the city like it's his battlefield. The streets know his name, and the people whisper it like a warning. The ones who doubted him are gone, and the ones who remain know better than to cross him. Because Tommy doesn't bluff. He doesn't beg. And he sure as hell doesn't hold back. The wind hits his window as he slows down near a dark alley. The air feels heavier here. The kind of place where secrets are buried and deals are made. He steps out, leather jacket catching the faint glimmer of streetlight. You can almost hear the city pause, like even it knows something is about to happen. Tommy looks up, eyes locked on the skyline, a mix of glass towers and rusted rooftops, and smirks. It's not pride. It's not joy. It's something colder. Determination, maybe? He's come too far to back down now. In his mind, there's no right or wrong. No heroes or villains. There's only survival. And in this city, survival means striking first. The bass in the background deepens, slow, heavy, building pressure with every second. Tommy turns, slips back into his car, and the headlights cut through the fog. The camera lingers just long enough to catch his expression, calm, focused, dangerous. He presses the gas. The tires spin, smoke curls up, and the car vanishes into the night. Chicago fades behind him. But his story is just beginning. Somewhere in those streets, a war is waiting, and Tommy, he's ready for it. Because he's not just another player in the game. He is the game. And tonight, everyone's about to be reminded exactly why Tommy Egan doesn't hold back. The city never sleeps. It just hides its heartbeat behind the sound of sirens and slow jazz leaking from cracked windows. Chicago at night is a living thing, breathing smoke and secrets. The streets glisten from a fresh drizzle, neon reflections dancing on wet pavement like ghosts trying to find peace. Somewhere between the glow of a liquor store sign and the hum of a distant train, Tommy's car slows to a crawl. He's not lost. He's hunting. Every block carries a memory. A deal gone wrong. A friend buried too soon. A rival who thought they could outsmart him. Tommy doesn't need a map. The city's scars guide him. He knows every corner where loyalty dies and ambition is born. The world he walks in isn't made for the weak. It's made for those who can look danger in the eye and not blink. And tonight, Tommy isn't just part of the city. He's the pulse that makes it move. The car stops in front of an old warehouse, rusted doors, flickering light, graffiti telling stories no one will admit out loud. It's the kind of place where silence weighs heavy, where whispers can kill. Tommy steps out, boots hitting the ground like a declaration. The air smells like oil and smoke. It's quiet to quiet, but he doesn't flinch. He's walked into darker rooms and come out alive. That's his gift, his curse, too. He looks around, scanning the shadows. The city watches him, unseen but present, like it's waiting to see what he'll do next. There's movement, quick, subtle, but Tommy doesn't react. He doesn't chase noise. He waits for truth to show itself. That's how he's survived this long. Every move he makes is deliberate. Every silence earned. Somewhere nearby, a door creaks open. A faint voice murmurs, a deal being made or broken, it doesn't matter. To Tommy, every conversation in this city eventually leads back to him. Power has a way of finding its source, and lately, that source has been him. He's not the biggest player, but he's the boldest. He's not the richest, but he's the most feared. And in a city like this, fear is better than money. The tension builds like static in the air. You can almost taste it, a mix of adrenaline and grit. A dog barks in the distance, tires screech somewhere down the street. Tommy leans against his car, lighting a cigarette, smoke curling up into the dark like a signal. He takes one slow drag, eyes fixed ahead, calm but calculating. He doesn't need to say a word to make his message clear. In this world, silence speaks louder than any threat. He thinks of everything that's led him here, the deals, the betrayals, the blood. Every decision has carved a path he can't turn back from. He doesn't regret it. Regret is for people who still think they can change. Tommy knows better. The city doesn't change. It just replaces the faces of those who fall. The sound of the wind shifts, faint footsteps, coming closer. He drops the cigarette, crushes it under his boot, and straightens up. No fear, no hesitation. This is where Tommy feels most alive, right before everything explodes. The air grows heavier, like the whole city is holding its breath. And in that stillness, there's a strange beauty. The way danger and peace meet in one heartbeat. The way Tommy looks like he belongs here, half in the shadows, half in the light. He's the kind of man who could walk through fire and come out colder. Every move he makes, every glance, every pause, it's all part of his control. The world might be chaos, but Tommy Egan is the calm inside it. The camera would linger on his reflection in the car window, his eyes steady, unblinking. Behind him, the skyline glows faintly, a reminder of the power he's chasing and the darkness it brings. The sound of the city builds again, a train horn, a shout, the distant crack of thunder. Tommy turns, opens the car door, and slides back in as the engine rumbles to life. It feels like the whole city moves with him. The rain starts again, soft at first, then harder, washing the streets clean, or maybe just hiding the stains that never really fade. Tommy grips the wheel, jaw tight. The mission isn't over. It's only just beginning. Because in this city of broken loyalties, Tommy doesn't follow the rules. He makes them. And tonight, someone's about to find out exactly what that means. The rain has stopped, but the silence it leaves behind feels louder than gunfire. The city breathes in slow, uneasy gasps. Somewhere between the dripping pipes and the echo of footsteps, the warehouse door groans open. Inside, the air is thick, heavy with dust, oil, and tension. The faint hum of a single light bulb flickers above, swinging gently like it's nervous to watch what's about to happen. Tommy steps inside. His boots hit the ground with that slow, steady rhythm that warns anyone listening trouble has arrived. He doesn't rush. He moves like time belongs to him. Every step is deliberate, every glance sharp. The shadows stretch long, curling around rusted barrels and wooden crates. Somewhere in the dark, two voices whisper. A deal being made, hands exchanging something that could shift the balance of the streets. Tommy listens, expression unreadable. Then one word catches his ear, his name. That's all it takes, He steps into the light, and for a moment, everything freezes. The men turn, startled, fear flashing across their faces before they can mask it. They weren't expecting him. Nobody ever does. Tommy doesn't need to raise his voice. He just looks at them, and that's enough to make the air turn colder. What did you say? His tone is calm, but underneath it sits something dangerous, the kind of quiet that always comes before a storm. One of the men stammers, fumbling for words that might save him. Tommy waits, patient but not kind. He's not here to argue. He's here to make things clear. The man tries to explain, says it's business, nothing personal. But Tommy's face doesn't move. Business and personal stopped being separate a long time ago. He takes a slow step forward. The echo of his boots bounces off the walls, swallowing the man's excuses whole. You move weight in my city, Tommy says softly. You move through me. The silence that follows is sharp enough to cut through the air. The man nods quickly, trying to seem brave. But Tommy sees through it, the shaking hands, the darting eyes. Fear has a smell, and this room reeks of it. He leans in slightly, his voice dropping to a whisper that feels more threatening than a shout. You didn't ask permission. That was your first mistake. A second passes. Maybe two. Then Tommy's expression hardens. No warning, no buildup. He acts fast. A flash, a thud, a gasp. The kind of sound that reminds everyone watching that Tommy doesn't bluff. He steps back, calm again, like nothing happened. For him, it's not rage. It's routine. In his world, power doesn't come from anger. It comes from control. The second man stands frozen, eyes wide. Tommy doesn't even look at him right away. He lights another cigarette, takes a slow drag, and finally turns. You tell everyone, he says, his tone steady, cold. Tommy Egan doesn't hold back. The man nods, trembling. Tommy drops the cigarette to the floor, the ember glowing for a moment before fading under his boot. He walks toward the exit, and the room feels emptier with every step he takes. The door creaks open, spilling the city's noise back inside. Sirens, engines, the hum of a world that never stops spinning. He doesn't look back. He never does. That's the thing about Tommy. Once he's made his move, it's already too late for anyone else to catch up. Outside, the air feels lighter. The storm clouds have thinned, but the city still wears its darkness proudly. Tommy steps into it like he belongs there, like he is the darkness. The streetlights reflect off his car, painting silver streaks across the hood. He opens the door, slides in, and rests his hands on the wheel. For a moment, he just sits there, quiet, still. Inside that stillness, something burns, not guilt, not fear, but purpose. Every choice he's made has carved this path. There's no turning back, no redemption waiting on the other side. He knows that. He accepts it. Because for Tommy, peace isn't freedom. It's weakness. And in his world, weakness gets you killed. He starts the engine, the low rumble filling the night. Somewhere in the distance, a church bell rings slow, heavy, almost like a warning. But Tommy doesn't hear it that way. To him, it sounds like victory. He grips the wheel tighter, eyes focused ahead. The city stretches out before him, a cruel, beautiful, endless. He drives off, the taillights cutting through the fog like red fire. The camera lingers behind him, showing the empty warehouse in the distance, one light still flickering, a symbol of what's left behind. The rain begins again, soft and steady, washing over the pavement as if trying to erase what just happened. But the city never forgets. It just waits for the next name to fall. And as Tommy's car disappears into the darkness, one truth hangs heavy in the air. Chicago belongs to those who can take it. And no one takes it harder, faster, or colder than Tommy Egan. The city wakes before the sun. Smoke drifts from chimneys. The wind carries whispers. And deep down in the bones of Chicago, something stirs, a tension, a promise, a reckoning. Tommy Egan drives through the dim light of dawn, the city still half asleep, unaware that something's about to break. His car hums low, steady, like the growl of a beast waiting for its command. His eyes stay fixed on the road ahead, cold and clear. There's no music, no words, no distractions. Just the sound of his breath and the city breathing with him. He's not running. He never runs. He's calculating every move, every turn, every decision a piece in the puzzle of power he's building. The people who cross him think he's reckless, but that's where they're wrong. Tommy's chaos has rhythm. His violence has purpose. Every action he takes is planned to the second. And every outcome leads him closer to the throne he's been carving out of concrete and blood. The sky starts to change, bleeding from gray to gold, but there's nothing soft about this sunrise. It feels like fire. The kind of light that doesn't heal, it exposes. The streets look different in daylight, but the danger doesn't fade. It just hides better. Tommy parks in front of a tall glass building. New money, new power. Inside, a man waits. A man who thought he could outplay Tommy Egan. Tommy steps out of the car, the air sharp against his face. His boots hit the pavement with purpose. There's no rush, no hesitation. The guards at the door glance up but don't move. They know that look. They've seen what happens when a man like him walks in, the kind of man who brings storms instead of words. He pushes the doors open, walks through the marble lobby, the click of his footsteps echoing like gunshots in a church. Inside the office, the man stands waiting, confident, smiling too easily. Money stacked on the table, papers neatly lined up, the illusion of order. He offers Tommy a seat. Tommy doesn't sit. He just looks, that calm, quiet stare that strips away the mask from anyone foolish enough to hide behind one "you think you can buy peace with me." Tommy's voice is low, steady. The man laughs, but the sound is hollow. Tommy doesn't laugh back. He steps closer. The air changes heavy, electric, full of something that can't be stopped. You don't buy peace, Tommy says. You earn it. You bleed for it, and then it happens fast, too fast for anyone to breathe. A crash, a shout, glass breaking, the sound of power shifting hands. When it's over, the room is quiet again. The man's smile is gone, replaced by silence that says everything. Tommy wipes his hand, straightens his jacket, and turns toward the window. The city stretches out before him, wide, wild, endless. His reflection stares back, half in light, half in shadow. That's who he is now, caught between what he was and what he's become. He takes a deep breath, but there's no relief in it. Power feels heavy when it's real. Every victory leaves a scar. Every move costs something. But Tommy doesn't stop to count the cost. He's long past the point of weighing right and wrong. In his world, there's only what works and what doesn't. Outside, the city has started moving again, horns flaring, people shouting, life going on like nothing happened. Tommy steps out into the light, but he doesn't blend in. He never could. The streets know him, feel him, remember him. To some, he's a legend. To others, a curse. But to everyone, he's a warning, a reminder that power doesn't come cheap. And Tommy Egan always collects. He walks back to his car, the same slow, steady pace, and for a second, he looks up at the sky. The clouds are clearing, the wind cutting through the noise. Somewhere out there, another enemy is waiting. Another challenge. Another test. But Tommy doesn't flinch. He never does. That's what separates him from the rest. He doesn't run from the fire. He drives straight through it. He gets in, turns the key, and the engine roars to life. The camera pulls back, wide shot, the city sprawling behind him like a battlefield conquered but never tamed. The tires screech, smoke curls up, and the car disappears down the road, leaving behind only echoes. And as the sound fades, one thought lingers: Chicago is built on fear, greed, and loyalty. But only one man owns all three. Tommy doesn't play by the rules. He is the rules. And in a world where hesitation is death, there's only one thing that keeps him alive. He doesn't hold back. Not for anyone. Not ever.